If you're like me, you probably have a lot of questions you wanted answered before purchasing an Apple Watch Ultra, like how big is it? Is it annoying to wear? How is the display? Is the battery life really that good? And does it work well with other Apple Watch bands? And can you dress it up? And most importantly, is it worth the $800 asking price if you are a normal user? A lot of those questions are kind of hard to answer when you spend just a couple of days with a product. Well, luckily for you, I have spent the past month using the Apple Watch Ultra, and there is a lot to say about Apple's biggest and most unique Apple Watch design yet. And let's start with that design. Design on a watch is so important. This is a device that you're potentially going to wear every single day. And if the watch is ugly or uncomfortable or just looks out of place, well, you're not going to want to wear it. And this was by far my number one concern when I purchased the Apple Watch Ultra. Would it be too big or too thick? And is this something I could actually wear every day? Like, can I actually pull this thing off? And depending on who you ask, I can't pull anything off, so maybe don't take my fashion advice, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway. Final Fantasy VII, sure. You got Sephiroth.
Sephiroth.
You got your Nova. Well, actually just take my advice. Take all of my advice. Don't listen to anyone else. Seriously, when it comes to the Apple Watch Ultra, it seems that my concerns were a bit premature. The Apple Watch Ultra is, well, I'll just say it is stunning. It's made from a premium titanium material, which is more matte than stainless steel, but with just the right amount of luster for a nice premium look. I think what I can really say about this design, when you compare it against other smartwatches and just other Apple Watch designs in general, is that this design has so much character. The bigger digital crown with bigger notches in it, the orange accented ring around the digital crown, the orange accented action button, and the raised lip, which serves as a way to make the watch more durable. I wondered if this was just the newness effect, but after owning the watch for a month, I can safely say that the regular Apple Watch, to me, kind of looks sterile. Don't get me wrong, I think from a technical design perspective, the Series 8 is a better design. It's slimmer, lighter weight, more minimal, but as a timepiece, it blends in more, and it's not as bold as the Apple Watch Ultra. I was also surprised just how lightweight the Ultra felt at times. It is a fair bit heftier than the Series 8 watch on paper, and even heavier than the stainless steel model, but the weight distribution on the Ultra's larger surface seems very well balanced, so it's not as noticeable. Another concern I had with the design was the increased thickness. Now, to my surprise, on my wrist compared to the Series 8, it seemed to sit on my wrist nicely, and it didn't stick up as much as I thought it would. Potentially though, because the Ultra is thicker, there is potential that it might snag on your shirt sleeve if you're wearing a tighter, longer sleeve shirt. But for my dress shirts, I didn't have trouble with the Ultra getting caught in my sleeve. Also, to the Ultra's benefit, it works with any 42, 44, or 45 millimeter Apple Watch band, and now 49 millimeter Apple Watch bands. So even though it comes with the more rugged version of the Apple Watch band, like the Alpine Loop, the regular sports bands or leather bands look just as good on the Ultra. In fact, I actually haven't been wearing the Alpine Loop every day. I find it a little difficult to secure into place and a little bit difficult to take on and off. So I kind of like the adjustability on my sport band, especially if I'm going to be working out that day. The Ultra also, well, at least in my opinion, is capable of being dressed up. This is something I was really concerned about when I purchased the Ultra because I was pretty much wearing my Apple Watch every single day and for like every occasion in my life. So I didn't really want to be caught without it, and I didn't want to buy an Apple Watch that I would basically have to go, well, I can't wear that today. I'm gonna have to wear something else. So I felt like if the Ultra was in that category, I would be pretty disappointed. And I was really worried that I would have to get like a second stainless steel model because I didn't want this to look out of place when wearing something like a suit, or something more dressy than my usual array of graphic tees, which I think we ostensibly covered. Now, your mileage or taste may vary, but I wore my Ultra with a suit with a classic leather band, and I thought I pulled it off. Although I think for dressing it up, getting a metal band like the Milanese Loop or a stainless steel link band is really the better choice for the Ultra's bigger, bolder design. But everyone's a critic, so let me know what you think about the Ultra's dressier looks in the comments below. Now, I'll just reiterate that most of my concerns with the Ultra's design turned out to be premature. Like, I really love the look of the Ultra, and I would choose to wear this design over the regular Apple Watch based on looks alone. I like it that much. but thankfully, the Ultra has a lot more going for it than just looks. One of those benefits is that this design is supposed to be more durable than the previous Apple Watches that came before it. And so far, my Ultra, after a month of use, has held up well, but most of my Apple Watches have held up well. Again, this is a normal user's review, not someone testing it in extreme elements like hiking up Mount Everest on a Sunday morning. Like my day is pretty much sitting at a computer, walking my dog, driving, maybe 3 to 5 one-hour gym sessions a week. But so far, I guess I can say, just 1 month of using this, there are no imperfections or tarnishing that I can spot on the titanium itself. Also, no scratches on the big sapphire display. Although I will say that one big smack of a swinging door against my Ultra did leave what I would call, I guess, like a small micro dent on the top of the lip of the titanium casing above the display. Functionality-wise, that design decision seemed to be pretty smart, considering that sapphire, even though it is more scratch-resistant than glass, is actually more prone to shattering. So if there wasn't this bigger upper lip here, maybe that door slam would have hit the big screen itself and then shattered it. I don't know, but a month after use, this thing isn't broken, but I don't think I've ever had an Apple Watch physically break on me. Now, even though the Ultra looks radically different than the other Apple Watches, as a normal user, most of my experience is relatively the same. So it still gets notifications, it still tracks workouts, still has an array of health sensors, and a bunch of other utilities and uses thrown in. In fact, even though the Ultra is bigger, it still has the same processing power as the normal Series 8, and even the same processing power as the cheapest Apple Watch SE. So there's not even a performance boost for going with the bigger Apple Watch. So let's talk about what actually makes the Ultra different when using it. And I think that comes down to a couple areas. First would be the display. It's just bigger. Everything on it looks bigger, and it's bigger for things like reading messages, emails, or swiping through like your podcast or music library. It just looks better. Having a bigger display is better. Touch targets when using apps like the calculator are easier to hit, and using the QWERTY keyboard on the increased flat screen size is a very pleasant experience all around. I also find that the larger display is helpful for more dense watch faces with a lot of information and complication. The Ultra also has an exclusive watch face called the Wayfinder watch face, and it is packed with 8 complications for a data-rich experience. And every complication is easily viewable and targetable. It is a very dense watch face, so making sure that you can clearly see everything is very important. It also makes visually heavy watch faces like the portrait watch face or the new astronomy watch face really stunning to look at. The display is also the best Apple Watch display yet, capable of getting up to 2000 nits of peak brightness, making it extremely viewable even in direct sunlight. There's also some other improvements like the louder speaker, which is better for phone calls and listening to voice messages.
This is an automated voice recording, testing the Apple Watch Ultra speakers, provided to you by the City of Toronto.
Now I know this might make audiophiles head spin, but I kind of wish the Apple Watch would actually let you use the speaker to play audio from the watch itself. Like every time I go to play a podcast on this thing, it just asks me to connect it to a Bluetooth audio connection. And I feel like the watch speakers, even though they're relatively bad to like an iPhone speakers, they're definitely capable of playing back clear voice communication. So why not allow this thing to play a podcast? I might be the only person asking for that, but there's a speaker on here. It's the loudest speaker yet. Maybe let me play a podcast on it. Why not? Well, who's it gonna hurt? The people I'm passing by? Come on. I want to be on the subway blasting the Ultra. It's a portable boombox on your wrist. It sells itself, folks. I should mention that the louder speaker is technically also for a louder siren, which I guess can technically help save your life, but I've only used it to play it and annoy the people around me in my daily life. Not to be saved. Another exclusive Apple Watch Ultra feature is the dedicated side button. And yeah, it can just map to like quick things. I set it to a stopwatch. So I like to time my espresso shots, and that's basically what I use it for. However, I think the biggest selling point of the Ultra is the simplest one: battery battery life. Yes, the Ultra is supposed to last up to 36 hours of normal use on a single charge, and that's without any low power modes. And that is double the battery life of what you get on the Series 8 Apple Watch. For me, this has meant over the past month of using the Apple Watch Ultra that I can reliably go for about 2 days on average of usage with the Ultra, with a 2-hour workout session thrown in and 1 session of sleep tracking, usually requiring me to charge it around 10 p.m. on the second day. Now for me, I don't think the 2 days of battery life is a selling point as something like you'd wear your watch 2 days without charging it, because it kind of becomes routine to charge your watch daily, and it's really not a big hassle to plop your Apple Watch on the charger at night or in the morning when you wake up after using it for sleep tracking. So it's not the extra second day of battery life that I like about the Ultra's battery life, but it's more about the peace of mind knowing that no matter what is going on in my day, no matter what I'm doing with this Ultra, this thing is going to last me a full day. So for example, I am trying to spend a fair bit of time exercising, and sometimes, whether that's weightlifting or running, that does require multi-hour gym sessions. Now, on Apple Watches, the workout app is known to be a really big battery drainer. So if I plan to work out a lot that day, on a normal Apple Watch, I might not choose to enable the workout app when doing less strenuous workouts that take a lot of time. Like for example, if I'm going for like an hour plus walk, leaving the workout app on while walking and then hitting the gym later for like a 2-hour gym session might mean the difference of having my normal Apple Watch battery last me all day or requiring me to charge it midday or earlier in the night than I would like to, meaning I would have to forego another feature like sleep tracking. With the Ultra, that's no problem. I don't have to think about or manage the battery life in any way. If I take the Ultra off the charger at 100%, I can go through my day using it how I want to use it, and so far, there's been nothing that I do in my daily life that has been able to drain this battery in a day. Even though it's only been a month and I can't give you a longer review of using this watch, I also imagine that longer period down the road, I will be able to say that the watch has aged more gracefully with battery life, because I think the biggest pain point I've had with other Apple Watches is when I've owned them for around a year and the battery health goes down. They will still last me throughout the day, but again, those heavier sessions can really wear the battery down. And on some days, I would want or need it to last a few extra hours. This Ultra having a bigger battery coupled with less need to charge it frequently should mean that the longevity of the Apple Watch Ultra should be even greater, and even as this product ages throughout the next year, I should still have plenty of reserve battery life, making sure this thing, no matter what, still lasts throughout an entire day. And I like that. I like that this is going to age more gracefully, and I just like having the peace of mind of knowing that my battery life is gonna last throughout the day. So yeah, so far with my month of usage with the Apple Watch Ultra, I've really enjoyed it if you couldn't tell. And yeah, I don't think you have to be scaling mountains to buy this watch. If you're a normal user like me, and you're an Apple Watch power user, or you just want the best Apple Watch possible, this thing is easily worth the $800 asking price. Like if you want an Apple Watch Ultra, go for it. Buy it. It is absolutely great. I love this thing. But hey, now I want to hear from you in the comments below. Do you have an Apple Watch Ultra? If you do, let me know what you like the most about it. And hey, if you don't like something about it, let me know that too. That's also very valuable. If you don't own an Apple Watch Ultra, after watching this video, are you convinced to get one? Are you planning on buying an Apple Watch Ultra? If you are, there's an affiliate link in the description. You probably guessed that was coming, but you can use that. And yeah, if you do buy an Apple Watch Ultra, let me know that as well. And if you're a normal user like me, let me know, do you think it's actually worth the $800 asking price as someone who isn't doing something more strenuous? But yeah, that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, give me a like. If you want to see more, make sure you're subscribed. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one.